Okay, guys, so the Rams are going to have their final roster cuts tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and today we're going to be going over my final prediction for the 53-man roster. Let's get into it. And what we're going to be doing for this video is going on the Rams wire once again and going over their 53-man roster projection, and I'm going to tweak as I go and give my thoughts on who I think they're going to, keep on the roster. I'll let you know I kind of disagree on a few of these players, and I'll be giving my thoughts on who I think will replace some of the people that they did actually keep on. But that's what I'm going to be doing. So let's get into it. So like I said, on Tuesday, it's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They have to get the roster down to 53 players. So here we go. With quarterback, we're going to start out with Matthew Stafford, Stetson Bennett. Now, Stetson Bennett did not have a good game against the Broncos or, the game before that either, against the Raiders. So that wasn't very good to see, but he has done enough to be the backup to Matthew Stafford. So just like I said, that's not enough to push him off the roster, and I don't think that the Rams will be keeping Brett Rypien. They'll most likely have him on the practice squad. He's not good enough to probably make a team anywhere else either, so he will most likely be staying on that practice squad. Not to say that he can't be good enough, it's just not at this moment. I don't see any NFL teams doing it, and just like they say here, a lot of people have been talking about putting a waiver claim in for Will Grier, as he just absolutely killed it in his final game of the preseason. So if we could do that, maybe we can bring him on, but either way, we're gonna go with two quarterbacks probably no matter what. In terms of running backs, we're gonna have Cam Akers, Kyren Williams. I don't know if the Rams are really in the sweepstakes for Jonathan Taylor. I haven't really heard any rumblings from that, but most likely it's going to be Cam Akers, Kyren Williams, Ronnie Rivers, who has played very well in the preseason, all three games, and then Zach Evans. Now, I wish we could keep Royce Freeman there, but he's just didn't do enough. So most likely we're going to go with 4 running backs. In terms of wide receiver, they have now changed, the Rams wire has now changed it to 6 wide receivers staying on the team. That's going to be Cooper Kupp, Van Jefferson, Tutu Atwell, Puka Nacua, Ben Skoranek, and Demarcus Robinson. Personally, I think that they could possibly take 7 receivers, or they could possibly, if they only take 6 receivers, they could take Tyler Johnson over Demarcus Robinson. Demarcus Robinson just had 4 targets against the Broncos, didn't catch a single one of them, and Demarcus Robinson hasn't had a good game yet in the preseason. Now, Tyler Johnson, on the other hand, had a very good week 1, and then, solid week 2, and everyone played bad against the Broncos. But I think we will probably go with 7, but Tyler Johnson and Demarcus Robinson kind of up for debate, but Demarcus Robinson has had a lot of success compared to Tyler Johnson in the NFL so far. So we will see. In terms of tight ends, we're going to have Tyler Higbee, Bryson Hopkins, Hunter Long, and Davis Allen. Now, Davis Allen will most likely definitely make this team because Hunter Long is going to start on the PUP list. He's coming off the PUP list, but I do believe that Davis Allen is going to make the team as the 4th tight end. That's just personally what I think they're going to do. In terms of tackle, we're going to go with Rob Havenstein and Alaric Jackson as our starting tackles. Obviously, Rob Havenstein is a right tackle. Alaric Jackson starting at left. Then we're going to have Warren McClendon Jr. and Logan Bruss. Logan Bruss has not played well during the preseason, but I don't think he's done enough to get, cut on the second, just his second year after having an injury. But I very, very much doubt that they will cut Logan Bruss. They need to give him a bit more time. Then at center and guard, we have Allen and Shelton competing for the starting center role. I believe it's going to be Brian Allen. And then Avila, I believe, will start at left guard. And Ankrum most likely starting at right guard until Noteboom returns, and then Noteboom will most likely take over at the right guard position. But we'll see what happens with that. But most likely we're gonna have Allen and Shelton competing for center. Left guard definitely going to Avila, and then Ankrum starting at right guard. Defensive line, we're going to have Aaron Donald, Bobby Brown III, Marquise Copeland, Ernest Brown IV, Kobe Turner, and Jonah Williams. This is pretty much a lock. You can pretty much expect the Rams to go with these 6 players right here. And yeah, really just Juwan Johnson. he did make a push for it in his last game against the Broncos. However, no one really stood out enough to really make any changes to get in there at the last second. So they'll be going with those 6 players. For outside linebacker, we're going to have Michael Hoyt, Byron Young going to be our starters, Daniel Hardy, Nick Hampton to back him up, Keir Thomas, then Zach Van Valkenburg. I believe Zach is not going to make the team. I don't think that the Rams need to go with 6 outside linebackers. Oakon Mathis is also out of there as well, but he is most likely going to IR. So I don't think that Zach is going to make this team, and I think that's going to open up an extra spot for someone else I want in the secondary. But if he does make it, congratulations, but I don't think he's going to make it. So I think we're going with 5 there. Inside linebacker is very easy. It's just going to be Ernest Jones, Kristen Roseboom, and Jake Hummel. This group has been the same since the start of camp. Hummel did have a very good game week 2 of the preseason. But yeah, pretty much we're going to go with these 3. I hope that Jake Hummel is able to start over Kristen Roseboom, just because I think he has a bit more potential. But either way, Ernest Jones is going to be a possible all-pro this year. I really think that's a possibility for Ernest Jones, and that's all we really need at linebacker. For cornerback, we're going to have Kobe Durant, Akel Witherspoon, Darion Kendrick, Robert Rochelle, Trey Tomlinson, who got ejected, very funny, and then Sean Jolly. I don't know if Sean Jolly is really going to make it, but Tomlinson is going to be able to play on the outside, so hopefully that allows Kobe Durant to play his star role like Jalen Ramsey did, as that's where he is suited best. But these 6, I would be okay with it, so I'll leave it for now. But I would like to keep a couple of safeties here that they don't have. So in terms of safety, we have Jordan Fuller, John Johnson, Russ East, Quentin Lake. These 4 are absolute locks. Russ East didn't even play. That's how you know he has made the team. But I think Jason Taylor and Tanner Ingle could both make this team as well. I think Jason Taylor II will make the team. And Quindell Johnson did make a strong case. He got a sack. He played very well, got a lot of tackles. But, it's actually not good for your safety to be getting, all the tackles. But either way, I do believe that Jason Taylor will make this team, and Tanner Ingle has made a case as well. So I'm going to go with Jason Taylor, and then I'm going to cut that one outside linebacker. That's going to be the difference between mine and the Rams Wires lists. But then we have special teams, Tanner Brown, Ethan Evans, and Alex Ward. Ethan Evans has been playing absolutely amazing at punter. Tanner Brown, only 2 for 4 during the preseason. Probably not good enough to stay on. Once the veterans become available after final roster cuts, I'm sure the Rams will switch someone out for Tanner Brown. Sadly, he just didn't work out. Or if we keep him, hopefully he can get his stuff together. But that's pretty much going to be my projections for the Rams 53-man roster, final predictions. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. But other than that, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.